A couple weeks ago, my home state of Delaware became the 23rd state to approve recreational marijuana. This has made me think, why stop at weed? With the success of recreational weed, alcohol, coffee, pharmaceuticals, I believe we could have a similar success with legalizing all other drugs, such as heroin, cocaine, LSD, shrooms, etc. Let me tell you what, drugs can and are dangerous. If you find yourself addicted, please reach out for help. On screen is the National Help Hotline. Please take the step. Call them, get yourself some help. Also, if you find yourself disagreeing with me, please tell me why in the comments below. I'd love to hear your opinions and, your support if you agree. Alright, as an American, but more importantly, a human, free people cannot be free unless they are free to choose. So our laws should not be hindering us from ourselves. Our laws should be about big corporate greed. Our laws should be protecting us from each other. We can all agree murder is bad. We can all agree that poisoning the water supply is bad. But if I am home, I should be free to do as I please to myself, as long as I am not hurting others. Can we all agree on that? Can we all fucking agree on that? We, as a country, run off of money. Since 2014, the weed industry, the cannabis industry, has provided $15 billion in tax revenue. Last year, 2022, that was $3.8 billion. On top of the tax revenue, the cannabis industry also provides 425,000. If I said that incorrectly, no, I did not. 425,000 fucking people. That's wild! 500,000 fucking jobs. The current industry for cannabis is worth $16 billion. You know what the illegal drug market is worth? $100 billion. $100 billion. Now, I don't want to make any, speculative, comments on 100 billion versus 16 billion, but kind of just put the pieces together. There has to be some jobs in the market. There has to be tax revenue coming from this industry, and there's a lot of financial gains on top of lowering the amount of criminals that have money, right? The illegal drug market, all it does is provide more money to criminals. Number 3, addiction should not be criminalized, and we shouldn't be able to get profit from it. So let's talk about it. 1 out of 5 American inmates are in there because of drugs, right? 350,000 people. If we take that with $1,389 and ex-con pays on average, right? $1,389 plus the minimum state average for a single inmate to stay there for a year, which is $18,410. That's Mississippi. It's the lowest average out of every single state. The actual average is $45,000 per inmate, but if we take the lowest, $18,410, and apply it to a year to those 350,000 people, that means we have a whole entire tax savings of $7 billion fucking dollars. $7 billion fucking dollars, okay? Now, if we use the other average, that $45,000 average, that's the $16 billion in just a chunk of money that we would get some of it from them paying taxes, but also the amount of money we wouldn't be spending every fucking year. $16 billion. Just a waste of fucking money. That's not even bringing the human element into imprisoning these people that have a mental illness, that are addicted to these substances, but instead we just throw them in jail and say, fuck you. What we should be doing is putting resources that we can get from these tax revenue sources into rehab, into clean drug supplies, so we can make sure that the people aren't endangering themselves with old needles, mixed needles, making sure that they have the proper supplies to be able to go ahead and do that. With legalization comes more regulation, which means safer drugs for people, right? It means that, back in the day, you go and get some moonshine from your moonshiner. There's no regulation around that, so that means they could fucking kill you with that. It could be a poisonous drink. Or you could have some fentanyl and some cocaine that you didn't know because you didn't get it from a store, you got it from a back alley dealer. What the fuck are we talking about? More regulation is going to cause more people to have safer drugs, which will reduce the amount of drug-related deaths that we have. There are many fucking arguments that I can continue going down, but I like those four to stand on their own. Now let's talk about some opposing arguments. Number one, yo, drugs are dangerous. Yeah, drugs are fucking dangerous, right? But with the additional revenue sources coming in, we can have more programs going out, more campaigns going out to the public talking about drug safety and clarity on drugs, right? Previously said, if we have regulated drugs, that means we have safer drugs, which means the drugs that are dangerous will not be as dangerous. Also, alcohol is an extremely dangerous drug, and it's still perfectly fucking legal, right? Number two, drug users are lazy and bad for society. That may or may not be true, but laws shouldn't be limiting personal freedoms. Liquor, coffee, prescription drugs are all legal and allowed to change their customers. Why not these other substances? If someone chooses to be lazy, mind your fucking business and let them be lazy. Number three, it would be easier for kids to access those drugs. Yep, I agree. I wholeheartedly agree that it'd be easier for kids to get them. Children would be able to go into their parents' drawer, pick it out and get it. Oh wait, maybe it's the parents' responsibility to stop that from happening, right? They do it with alcohol already. They do it with prescription drugs already. They do it with firearms already. Fuck, they already do it with fucking fireworks, right? You keep dangerous things out of your children's hands so they don't hurt themselves or hurt others, just like these other drugs. I'm sorry, this is a stupid argument. Goodbye. Number four, it can lead to more drug users. Yeah, maybe it might do that. I agree that it possibly could do it. More people would be like, oh, it's not illegal. I'll go ahead and do that, right? So I agree. But with more resources to help those that are addicted, the heavier overdosing death rate cases would drop significantly, as well as just the taboo that goes into doing something illegal wouldn't be there. So it would cut some of those users out as well. But again, the personal freedom is the biggest argument we can have right now. Let people choose for themselves. Did you know in 2001, Portugal decriminalized all drugs from 2001 and onwards? That's fucking crazy. Now, it is not the same as legalization, but I think we can look at what they did, maybe use some of those practices, and just look at the statistics of where they are now or in the past couple years. So one thing that they do that California already does is provides free and clean drug supplies, which means the danger of spreading other diseases goes down. Like HIV, for instance. In the year 2000 in Portugal, why can't I say this? From the year 2000 to 2015, there was a study from 2000 to 2015. Fuck it, I'm reading this. From the year 2000 to 2015, a study showed that new HIV cases reduced from 104 per million citizens to 4.2 per million citizens. I couldn't fucking read that. Anyways, it went from 104 fucking new cases to 4 new fucking cases. Are you fucking kidding me? That's a really big fucking deduction. In HIV. Oh, that's not really super drug related. What about this? In 2000, there was 100,000 heroin users, and now there's 25,000 heroin users. It's a fucking 75% reduction. Ridiculous. Also, they lost 20% of their prison population, directly tied to that law in 2001. Also, Portugal has a drug-related death rate 5 times lower than the EU average, which is in itself 1/50th of the American average. But we don't need to talk about that. I think we should talk about anything to reduce that fucking number. Look, I'm not saying that they're perfect, and that is decriminalization versus legalization, but what I'm saying is it'd probably be better than where we are now if we did some of these things. With all that being said, I hope you come to the same conclusion as I did, and if you didn't, let me know why in the fucking comments down below. Also, subscribe and like. And this is the second time I'm recording this fucking shit, so I hope you fucking like it, because fuck you motherfuckers, I fucking hate every single one of you, unless you are subscribed, and I love you, you're like my little baby, and suckle on my titty.